So we're not about to harp on here and just say how good the Bills played and how bad the Dolphins looked offensively, defensively, every aspect of the game. They got whipped in every aspect of the game. Josh Allen had a field day and Tua looked awful. And we can just go ahead and talk about the stats. Josh Allen was 13 for 19, 139 yards, averaged 10 yards a pass. He had a touchdown, 107 passer rating. James Cook had three touchdowns. He was balling. Offensively for the Dolphins, terrible. Tua was 17 for 25. He had a lot of completions, but he only threw for 145 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. They ran the ball decently well. Devon Achane ran the ball 22 times for 96 yards, 4.4 yards a carry. Can't not hate it. But the one part of the aspect of the game that was really poor was receiving. Of course, Devon Achane himself, your running back, had more yards than Jaylen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. That is a problem. Devon Achane had 69 yards with 7 targets and 7 receptions. Giannu Smith, trying to resurface his career, he had 6 catches for 53 yards. Jaylen Waddle and Tyreek Hill only had 60 yards between the both of them. That's unacceptable. You can't win that way. But the more important, more of the story of what happened yesterday in that game was obviously Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa went down with yet another concussion. I thought this was his 4th or 5th one, but what ESPN is trying to say, ESPN said this is his 3rd or 4th major concussion. If I'm not mistaken, he had none last year. He was concussion-free last year, but we all know the year before that, the year where the Dolphins made the playoffs and Tua wasn't even able to play, that Tua had like 2 concussions that year. I think he got concussed week 1, took him out, and then put him back in, and he got hurt again. But from what we're talking about is this the end of Tua's career? Does Tua need to play football again? Me personally, I can't answer that question. I am not a sports physician. I am studying sports medicine at the moment, but that is such a vague question that only Tua can answer himself and his family. Mike McDaniel, I know Mike McDaniel came out and made a statement. Mike McDaniel said that if you truly care about Tua, the last thing you should be discussing is whether he should retire. I totally get that's where people want to go. I just wish for a second people would hear what I'm saying, that bringing up his future is not in the best interest of him. And it's here that Mike McDaniel did say he told Tua personally that Tua Tagovailoa is a starting quarterback of his family. This is giving a mixed signal. He told Tua last night he is the quarterback of his family, but yet this morning he tried to say that I don't understand why people are still in Tua to retire. He's really kind of contradicting himself in some way. I understand that in the heat of the moment, he's like, hey, take care of your family. And I get what Mike McDaniel was trying to say. He had time to process what happened last night and say, hey, he needs to play football. I think it's in the best interest of him to play football and not bring up his future of him ending his career.
I think it would be so wrong of me to even sniff that subject, and it's more in line of actually caring about the human being, and that's something that entirely you're talking about his career, right? His career is his, and that's something that I think I just really, really, really wish. I totally understand it, and it's not misplaced. I totally get how that's where people want to go to. I just wish that people would for a second hear what I'm saying, that bringing up his future is not in the best interest of him. So, I'm going to plead with everybody that, does genuinely care, that should be the last thing on your mind, because you don't, like, what do you think that's, if I would answer that question, I'd be like, all right, this is my thoughts on his career. And he read it. If he agreed with it or he disagreed with it, either way, I've just made him worse. So I'm not taking this opportunity to just not, I don't think it's appropriate, simply because of my care and regard. And I don't think those types of conversations, when you're talking about somebody's career, I think it probably is only fair that their career should be decided by them. you know.
You just heard what Mike McDaniel had to say, but I'm going to more and talk about the lines of my personal idea of what I think Tua should do. As you have saw, each concussion seems to get worse. Every time Tua gets hurt, his hands clenched like this. He's flexing his fingers. Obviously, a doctor that was on Shannon Sharp's podcast said he actually texted Shannon last night. Shannon called it something called rigor mortis. It's just where your hands clench and his body, Tua's body, he just becomes unconscious. Each time Tua has had a concussion, he has been unconscious. That's basically essentially what it is. The body is, in a trauma, he is unconscious. And it's very scary. It's very scary. Obviously, we know what has been going on with CTE in the NFL. We've seen Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has not been the same since he got hit by Vontaze Burfict. Ever since Vontaze Burfict hit him with his shoulder right in the top of his head, Antonio Brown has not been the same. He has not. You could bring up Aaron Hernandez. You can bring up the plethora of others who I'm probably not even talking about that have died from any form of CTE. And I know Tua knows this. I know Tua's family knows this. I don't know nothing about Tua's personal life. I don't know if he has a wife, girlfriend. I don't know. That's a little beyond what we need to even know. But Tua needs to consider putting down the football. Tua's played football his whole life. He has an amazing story. Came in the national championship after Jalen Hurts getting benched. Comes in, saves the day for Alabama. Surges his career into a starting quarterback in college for the best program to ever exist in Alabama. You become a number 1 draft pick. You are a top 15 draft pick. I can't remember what pick he exactly was. I want to say he was the 5th pick. And you come into the NFL, have a terrible first few years under Brian Flores. Then you get Mike McDaniel over the last year, and you resurface your career. People have put you in the MVP conversation, Pro Bowler, had like 4,000 yards passing, great career. It is going to be hard for Tua to say goodbye to the game. Tua has got so much to offer the game. He's only in his 5th or 6th year. He was drafted in 2020. And this is just a very personal decision Tua wants to make. Tua is not going to want to leave. It is going to take Tua's family to actually have him to take that helmet off, put the helmet down, and say, I would want to live a healthy life for the rest of my life. The football is not going to be there forever. A lot of NFL players is only guaranteed 8 years to play the game. Tua's in his 5th year. Tua right now can leave the game and be at a healthy state of mind for the most part. Obviously, we're just speculating here. We don't know the severity of his concussion. It looks bad. They're getting worse, and they're only going to get worse if he keeps getting the concussions. Guys, if you replay the video, Damar Hamlin did not hit Tua necessarily, in my opinion, that hard. It's just the fact that Tua leaned in with his head, and that's the first thing Damar Hamlin hit. I was watching the play live, and I literally looked and saw. I said, oh no. Because I already saw how he slid. I saw the hit. Me knowing Tua's past, I've seen Tua get hurt every single time. Each time that Tua's had a concussion, I watched it live. I already knew it was fixing to happen. Lo and behold, that's what happened on the field yesterday. 4th down play, he's trying to get his team the 1st down. I understand it, fight or flight. It's not in his best interest in that moment, and he's in that football moment to slide. But unless Tua's got to learn he has to slide. And 9 times out of 10, Teddy Bridgewater even said this recently, you even get hurt sliding too. Now, even though it's not as bad as it was back in the day, normally NFL players know now defensively not to try and tackle a player that is sliding. But at the end of the day, you have your money. You got your $53 million contract. You have the guaranteed money. They went ahead and paid you. Stephen Ross, he went ahead and paid you. But first, let's just wait, see the severity of the injury, what the doctors are saying. Maybe we can get insight on what the possibility is based from the doctor of him possibly having some severe type of brain damage. And overall, from the Dolphins organizational perspective, I know the Dolphins is going to want Tua to play. You just paid the man this offseason $53 million. Tua even sat out wanting his money. It's not easy to find a quarterback in this league. I know there's going to be good quarterbacks coming up. The quarterback position is only getting better. We got so many stars in the league, but it is so hard to find that guy. It is so hard out of the 32 teams that can draft a player that all 32 can find a good quarterback. If the Dolphins were, or if they would just do right by Tua, allow Tua to make that decision. At the end of the day, it is Tua's decision. And I know that the organization has no say so if he wants to retire. If Tua wants to retire tomorrow, he can retire. But I know the Dolphins organization is going to want to push Tua to keep playing. I think Mike McDaniel himself is going to want Tua to keep playing. I've seen the great Luke Kuechly. He had so many concussions that he decided to hang it up in his short career. I think Tua, if Tua really cared about his health, he either plays, and after if he even gets one more concussion, he's done, or he should just go ahead and cut it off right now, week 2 into the NFL. Take a year off. You could take a year off, see what you want to do, take a step away, and just decide what you want to do for the future of your career and the future of for your family and for your health. Your health is wealth. You cannot get your health back. I can lose my phone today. I can get a new one. I can lose this microphone. I can get a new one. I can lose my PlayStation. I can lose this laptop. I can lose this gameplay controller. I can buy new ones. But once your life has been, once your body has been harmed in any sort of way that caused trauma on your body, it's not ever going to be the same. It's not coming back. You can't buy you a new body. You can't buy you a new brain. You can't buy you a new limb. I've had multiple surgeries already. I've had 2 knee surgeries. I can't buy me a new knee. Even though I'm doing well now, I cannot buy me a new knee. Tua needs to understand his health is more important. I hope he makes the best decision. We're just going to have to wait and see what the doctor says. Overall, the Dolphins have a lot of work to do in order to make the playoffs this year, because we know we like the Jets to make the playoffs in their division. The Bills look like they're going to already be in the playoffs in their division if they keep playing this way. So the Dolphins are in a rough hole. I know with the roster they have, they were expecting to make the playoffs, but with this Tua news, who knows? We know the kid Skylar Thompson is not going to be good enough to get them over the hump. I can tell you that right now. Unless there is a chance where they're only 1-1. They're not in the hole. And now, if they were 0-2 and did lose last week against the Jaguars, I would say they're in a bigger hole than what they need to be. But I think the Dolphins, if Tua actually decides to hang it up, I think the Dolphins are going to miss the playoffs. They're just going to have to chalk this year up, wait and see what the Tua's health looks like. Maybe go after a quarterback this offseason. Who knows? Maybe if they want to try and make the playoffs this year, they're going to have to trade for a quarterback. Who knows? We're going to have to wait and see. The Bills look great, though. They're 2-0 on the season. Josh Allen looks like he's a top 3 quarterback in the league. It's going to be interesting what the Bills are going to look like without Stephon Diggs in the future. If you enjoyed my quick reaction to this news, comment down below. Do you think Tua should put the football up, or do you think Tua should keep playing? Guys, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Click this link up here for all my other sports-related videos. Click this link over here to subscribe to my channel. As always, peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See you.